I'm Shamila Akhtar. Gosh, it sounds like I'm on blind date or something. So I'm going to talk about barriers to success regarding disability from my own experience. You see, in my teens I was diagnosed with MS. For those that don't know what that is, it's actually a neurological condition where your myelin sheath attacks the nerve cells in your body, particularly your spine and brain. And so more recently I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which you get from tick bites. The ticks are affected with the limes and then they bite you, and then the Lyme kind of passes on to you through the bite. So for anyone who tells you spiders don't bite is actually lying to you, because they do. Disability can take many forms. It can be a seen disability or unseen disability. Can anyone shout out some examples of disability? Please? Pardon? Epilepsy, which is unseen, yeah. MS can be unseen. Absolutely. Sorry? Yeah, all these are unseen disabilities, and it can affect anyone. It can be a permanent disability or a temporary one. So from my experience, I found that there's 3 main points that act as barriers to success. The first being other people's behaviour towards you. Now, there's 3 types of people that you come across. People who mind their own business, let you get on with your thing and they do their thing, and they're great. And then you have your B type of people who are really positive and encouraging and kind. They're even greater. And then you get your C ones that can be quite problematic, who are very negative and put you down, and they're just a damper, actually. And I'm not going to swear, so yeah, they're just people you've got to try and avoid. And so the C types of people are the ones that can cause problems, and these can be strangers that you pass, family members, your own colleagues, so family. Sorry, my brain stopped working. I do apologise. So family, colleagues, and general people in society. I'll give you some examples. My family at the start of my diagnosis weren't very accepting of my disability, which at that time was fair enough. I was a teenager. I was like, yeah, do whatever. I can't, if you're not dealing with it, I'm gonna leave it as well. At that point, I was a lot better in mobility and things. 2 people, your colleagues, that can have a bad attitude once they are aware of your disability. There was one time where I was walking through a car park, and I wasn't using my crutch at that time, and with MS, your balance is quite difficult, and you can't balance yourself. And I often walk around, or I used to walk around like a drunk person, but I've never touched a drop of alcohol. And so I just tripped over in the car park, and which I found really embarrassing. And there was a guy who walked past, and he didn't look at me, he didn't offer a helping hand if I wanted assistance to get up, and I was like ultimately embarrassed and sad. So I had to crawl to the nearest car and pull myself up. That was like a really bad instance where if the roles were reversed, I would have helped someone else that fell over up. So I kind of expected it. Expectations do let you down, actually. Another example is when I was trying to park in a parking space near to the building I was going to, and random strangers just like saying, oh, you can't park here, you don't look disabled, you can walk fine. What do you say to that? Like, it's just, it can be soul destroying, actually. The second barrier I found is other people's communication towards you. So this can be the tone of voice, what they write, to what they say, the look that they give you, it all counts. And examples of this was, again, with the parking issue, I used to get signs on my car saying that I can't park here because I don't look disabled, or to families saying, oh, you're putting a bit of weight on, aren't you? When they don't actually realise it could be due to medication that you take, or decreased mobility, which obviously has an impact on your weight increasing, to saying things like, oh, you can't do X, Y, or Z, which I find really annoying, to be honest. These are struggles that I face on a daily basis, and it's hard. It really is hard. But as a disabled person, these are the struggles that I face, and how I try and push past them is trying to help other people in similar situations as myself. So for me, when I was more mobile, I climbed Mount Snowdon, and I did, for charity this was, and I did, I think it's called an indoor power jump or something. It's 250 feet high, again for charity. And like, although I was scared, but like the adrenaline rush and it was absolutely amazing. So I'm so glad that I did things like that. And and my entrepreneurial journey, I think that really helps me push past these barriers, because I need something to get out of bed for. So for me, they're the reasons. How long have I got? Okay, so the takeaway message I want to give everyone in this room is, please be mindful of the way you treat other people, what you say to them, because it can have a negative effect. It can be detrimental, regardless of if there's someone with a disability or not. Just to be mindful. And secondly, to love yourself. Learn to love yourself. Like, it's a saying that people often say, oh, if you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you? And I've learnt this the hard way. So please think in your minds right now, one way that you can change something or do something for yourself to be kinder to your own self. Because you're worth it, without being a bit cheesy, but yeah, you are. Everyone is. So, yeah, thank you.